been all over the garden today and I want to now focus on my rhubarb. I'm pulling this one up specifically because of the reddish orangey leaf. That can occur when your rhubarb is taking root, when your rhubarb is not temperature controlled. The fact that it's not in the ground is what I'm pretty sure that I'm dealing with, because even a fresh new leaf right here is not that color. So I'm going to put these in the ground. I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment. I'm going to put it in one side of my garden that gets morning sun and then has afternoon shade, and then I'm going to put it in another part of my garden which gets the hot afternoon sun. Feeling I'm going to be dealing with aphids. That seems to be something that they attract no matter where they're grown. I've grown them in really good shade. It grew well until the aphids appeared. I grown them in absolute sun with some shade cloth, and they were both those times were in a pot, and I was not successful at keeping my rhubarb happy and being able to return. So I'm going to try again. I do think that the one that goes for morning sun is going to do the best. Some things you need for planting: I'm going to add some sand to my hole in order to, and then add some fresh compost to give it a lot of nutrition. Add some of the biotone from the garden tone to give it the roots the ability to take root real well. Sure that I have sand was kind of the one thing that I don't generally do. They like fresh, loamy soil, which near my pond I have a lot of sand. So I might even have to put my third one over there and see if we can become successful. Let's go plant some rhubarb. I have mixed together sand, potting soil, and some compost. And I'm going to put a little bit of that at the bottom. In order to give it the sand for fresh, loamy soil. Add some garden tone on top. These I grew from dried roots. That was, see how the root system did. Not bad. Here we go. The hole is bigger than the pot. You want to tuck it in around the sides. And water it in. Now I'm headed to the side garden where it gets morning sun and afternoon shade. I think that's where it's going to do the best. But I wanted to stop and show you the two pots and this beautiful deck planter. I mean, can you get a brighter blue than this lobelia? So gorgeous. We have a lot of flowers open at the bottom, a lot of flowers open in our leftover planter as well. And on the side garden, I have a hibiscus coming back. I have a couple of the perennial phlox coming back. My autumn fern, the gardenia, is smelling so gorgeous, and another perennial phlox right there. And this is the hibiscus, the only one that got treated with the Ortho Home Defense. In the back I do have an azalea that I might be moving, but I do have a Proven Winners aster that is absolutely bushed out next to the coreopsis. I did put this bush and this tinier bush. They came from my deck planters, and they have really shown out since they've been put in the ground. Amazing. Then I have the osteospermums are just kind of hanging out right now. They were the most freshly planted in this area. Flowers are blooming for the roses. Once they're done, I am going to prune them back because I have not done that yet in the fall. But the vistas are doing beautiful. The lantana is working its way. Here I have a balloon flower and working on some balloon buds. The agastaki, which is the anise hyssop right there, that one's doing well. I still need to trim back those snapdragons, but the Gara and the lamb's ear looking great. Amazing clematis, doing a good job. I did get these on sale for $2 for a pack. Planted them in my heavy clay that kind of looks like mulch, but they are doing fabulous. Bushing out, they look really good. Here's another balloon flower that is getting its balloons, its petals. Now I do have two very, very tiny buddleias, and this is all I have right now for that one, and the other one is right here. That's all I have right there for now. But my geranium is getting ready to flower. And then over here, the Agasaki that I did not transplant, the one that was already here, it's got some blooms. And it will bloom all summer long. It does a great job. If it gets enough sun, it's not going to limp over. It's going to look great. I do plan on bringing that hydrangea up closer away from the house so that it can get more sun. But I do expect that the rhubarb to leaf out underneath, the two of them looking super full and cute in the spring. This is where I put the cardboard in the mulch, and things are not clearly dead yet. So I'm probably going to fight that like I am the other side. Because I'm also putting compost in here, which all of this is going to benefit from. Compost with sand and a little bit of soil. Some garden tone because I don't have just a bag of biotone. This is the one with the off-colored leaf. It has a really good root system. And I want to give it some space so that it can come back next year without having cardboard over top of it. Get your spring blooming and growing items in the ground now so that you can be ready next spring. Follow for more.